My name's Ryan Wyatt, and I'm the head of live programming at Machinima. Machinima is the largest entertainment network on YouTube, and we focus on gaming and entertainment channels. So anywhere from people like Epic Mealtime, which isn't, well, I shouldn't say that. Anybody between like Syndicate Project and FPS Russia. So they do different stuff, but it's all usually gamer-centric.
How'd you get the gig?
I've been working in the industry for a while. I started a company called Major League Gaming that does eSports and competitive tournaments, and transitioned over into kind of the YouTube world about 3 years ago when Machinima was starting up as a company. And I've done various stuff working with Call of Duty, hosted a show called Friday Night Fights with Stacy Keebler. This is actually how I met Justine during that show. She was a contestant on the show. She actually ended up taking Stacy Keebler's spot in Season 2 and Season 3 that's coming out soon. So that's how I met her.
How long have you been into gaming?
Oh, my whole life. I started gaming when I was like 4 or 5 years old on Mario, but which is crazy. That was back in the day. But I played Counter-Strike competitively when I was like 14, and then Call of Duty through college, professionally. So I've had a pretty deep background in gaming and competing for money in gaming.
Tell us about that whole scene, competing for...
It's interesting. It's been a very niche underground scene for quite some time. Now you're starting to hear the word esports thrown out a lot more by developers. Treyarch's working on it, Ubisoft. There's a lot of major publishers that are starting to do stuff around esports. And all that really is you can't take sports too much out of context, because that's a whole different conversation on, is it classified as a sport? But it's classified as esports because the competitive nature where you're competing against other players, usually for prize money. And a lot of sponsors and non-endemic sponsors are getting behind this for visibility, behind these brands, behind players that compete. So it's really it's transitioned a lot in the past 10 years.
So how has things changed over the last 10 years? And getting back to the money, so how much money were you able to win? Were you able to pay your...
Yeah, in college it was great. Yeah, in college it was fine, because I was making anywhere from like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and in college that's insane. I would say if you look at it like 10 to 12 years ago, there was still huge prize money and prize purses that they've done, but it was a very underground thing, and it actually didn't gain a lot of visibility even from the gaming community. So you've seen that transition is now the gaming industry is the biggest industry out there. It generates more revenue than the movie, or television, or any industry, or music even. So now that gaming's gotten bigger and they've embraced this certain part of the competitive or esports, you're seeing a lot more visibility in that space.
So who are some of the top contenders in today's professional gaming?
The team I used to be a part of is Optic Gaming, and they're a huge Call of Duty team, and they won Call of Duty XP, which was $1 million tournament. The first place won $400,000. So that was just one tournament to give you some kind of context. They usually aren't that big as far as prize purse, but I would say the top 100 pro players in the world make well over 6 figures annually. So.
Are you still in the game?
No, I don't play anymore. I don't compete anymore. Now I just work in the business of it, and that's why I'm now the head of live programming. And what I do is oversee everything that we do live at Machinima. So we go live shows 4 days a week, and we also have 5,000 partners that are live streaming on YouTube, and focusing on the monetization of that and programming.
So how's the business model working out?
Well, business model, we focus on, we have a large inventory of partners that do views. We actually do 2 billion views a month and have 189 million unique users. So we focus, as far as the monetization part, is pre-rolls, where we just do simple advertisement, 30-second pre-rolls, and then branded integrations is a big part of where we get our money from.
What's the future for you? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
That's hard to say. I mean, I know I'll still be in gaming, but gaming, the landscape changes so drastically. It's hard to say if that I'll be focusing on working with a developer or continuing to do this where it's media content around gaming. I love both of them. I consult on Treyarch on a lot of their esports stuff, so it's hard to say where I'll go in the future, but I do know that it'll definitely be in gaming. And being a part of Machinima when there was only like 20 of us to now 200 people, I want to see that through. We just got an investment from Google for $35 million. So I think, I find myself being at Machinima for a while at this point in time.
So you're kind of riding the wave here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was good timing and being in it for such a long time. I mean, it wasn't always business because, right, I was a young kid competing, but, you're around that scene, and, I'm 25 years old now, so I kind of have a leg up just being around it for so long and still being relatively young in the industry.
What did you do in college?
Communications at Ohio State, and really just played professionally and worked with MLG. So I had a very fun college job.
Active in sports?
played baseball in high school, didn't play in college. So once I went to Ohio State, I stopped. I mean, I did like rec soccer and we did rec softball team, but nothing, didn't play at a collegiate level.
So I know that iJustine, she goes and works out. You work out, or are you
she's trying to get me more physically active. I would say I certainly was in high school when I played baseball. But yeah, it's not one of my stronger strengths, and yeah, she does a good job with that.
Do you go to the gym?
No, I don't. To be honest with you, I need to though. I do want to get back. I think it's an important part of being like physical. You know, I think you need to do those things. And I'd say like during college I was, but these past like 3 or 4 years I kind of slouched off a little bit. Now I think it's about time that I do.
How about Exergaming? Hooking up exercise bikes with gaming?
Well, I think there's now, as far as that question is like physical exercise, I think gamification can really change physical exercise. So like the Fitbit or the Nike Fuel Band, where they challenge you to earn, where it's fuel, Nike does it, and Fitbit counts your steps and stuff. I think that whole gamification process in physical exercise will go a long way. So it'll be interesting to see how people integrate it more so than just like, where the Wii Fit, like. That's early on, and it hasn't been incredibly successful. So I do want to see how they incorporate that more into the process in the future.
How about hooking up to exercise bikes?
Yeah, I think so. Like creating devices that'll hook up is the route to go. I think it does have serious potential, and with a lot of people moving our demographic, I think you can see as far as weight trends, it's becoming an issue, particularly in America. So I think things like that make exercising more fun and entertaining will be the difference maker in the future. And again, it goes back to that gamification process.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, but I've never been a YouTuber. I have one more so for the ability to, because I work with YouTube on product development. So that's why I have a channel. It's Exergaming Live, but I really never consider myself a YouTuber.
But you are a YouTuber. You're now like a celebrity, whether you want to be. Or
yeah, I mean, since I work so closely with YouTube in the community, there's a high level of visibility because of that. But I've never focused on making my living off of being a content creator or doing that. So. But
you're connected with iJustine, which means every time you go to eat crab cakes or every.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
There with 20,000 people that are watching.
Yeah, between my work with Machinima and Call of Duty and iJustine, it creates more visibility whether I like it or not. So.
I'm here sitting.
It is what it is.
Because of her.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I do all right when I talk about what my business is, so I'm used to it.
Oh, so you're used to.
I'm used to doing interviews talking about Machinima. Yeah. These types of questions I field a lot.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, not everyone knows that because they might just focus on like iJustine and don't know about like what's happening in like the gaming industry and what's happening at that wave. So that's actually how we met, from ours, those two worlds colliding. But yeah, no, I'm used to it now.
How do you like Seattle?
Oh, Seattle's one of my top 3 favorite cities.
What's the other 2?
Austin and Boston.
Why?
Austin, I've like always loved Austin, and I really don't know why. I mean because I'm not nothing against Texas, don't get me wrong, but I feel really comfortable in Austin, and like not as much so in like Dallas or Fort Worth area, and it's a beautiful city. I love the weather down there. It can get a little hot, and Boston I've just always loved because of the colonial, and I really like that. I like winter. I'm from Ohio, so I like when it gets it's snowing out there, and just the region. And Seattle's a beautiful city, and I've been lucky every time I've come to Seattle it hasn't rained. So I've never had to do that. I kind of have maybe this notion that might be different than some people with Seattle because of the weather.
You need to come back more often so we have more sun.
Right, I know. I guess you guys are on like 41 days straight without rain, so that's great. Hopefully you guys can beat the record.
How's PAX working out for you?
PAX has been great. We've been really busy at the booth with Machinima. So busy, but good. It's good. It's a good networking event to speak with other publishers and developers that are working on games and how you can work together on certain titles, and it's exciting. So it's gone really well. All right, see ya.